The Cypriot taxation system is one of the most efficient in the world. During both 2020 and 2021, a down year for the Cyprus real estate market was the general expectations, but not such downturn actually happened.
On our aim, which was always to have properties for the mid-range.
At the same time, there are a lot of clients from Israel that are flooding Cyprus, I would say.
What are the main challenges faced by one hand the real estate developers and from other hand clients who are buying real estate? Hello friends, it's September here in Cyprus and a new business season has begun. There is always something going on, an interesting event to attend, a promising business model to develop. The Cyprus real estate market continues to show steady growth, and this industry has been one of the best performing spheres of island for a long time. For an equally long time, our partners and clients experienced a lack to up-to-date industry-specific information that reflects the market here and now. It's no secret the major analytical reports are usually replaced with a one-year delay. But the world today changes at a neck-breaking speed, and the last year data is pretty much useless to any serious investor trying to make an informed decision today. That's why we at SPM decide to create our own analytical system. Our database, including a complete collection of all projects and developments from every developer on island. In our report, we also analyze publicly available recent data sources and references, Deloitte, KPMG and Knight Frank reports. All of this is nicely packaged into the report we named Real Estate Market Dynamics in Cyprus for the first half of 2023. It provides all the principles, data and everything else you need to make effective investment decision. To download the report, use the link below or visit our website and use the download link there. Today, we're going to over the main numbers indicating dynamic growth of the Cyprus real estate market during the first half of 2023. To give you a broader perspective, we interviewed the top managers of Cyprus real estate companies who today are the major players in this market. You'll be able to see these interviews very soon, so keep watching, enjoy video and let's go! Let's get started. Whenever I talk about the Cyprus real estate market, I share my opinion that Cyprus is a place that in an almost magical way manages to evolve and grow a different trajectory compared to the rest of the world. Suffice to say, when comparing the real estate market of Cyprus and the global market, the former shows growth yet again while the latter declined in the first half of 2023. 36.1%. This is the size of increasing the numbers of completed real estate transactions in the Cyprus market in comparison to 2022 year-over-year. Furthermore, the numbers of completed Cyprus real estate sales to third country nationals increased by 45.6%. Interestingly, over 45% of investors choose holiday real estate for investing. It's no surprise since an increasing tourism demand for Cyprus showcased the record-breaking numbers of visitors to the country in 2023. Over 25% of transactions were completed online without investor being physically present on the island. Over 65% of investors shared their desire to reinvest in Cyprus real estate next year. And let's not forget that the first half of the year, 15% of the national budget came from transactions in the Cyprus real estate market. How has the real estate market changed in the first half of 2023? I keep repeating for our client that the real estate market in our island like a vessel capable of changing course depending on the goals and objectives of the voyage. We all remember the years 2014-2019 when there simply wasn't much demand for real estate with a price tag below 2 million euros because the local real estate market wasn't supported by the passport program. This facilitated repeat development for the Cypriot cities, changing the skyline of many residential areas in the process. A number of gated residential complexes and the golf resorts have emerged on the island, and the appearance of Limassol changed significantly with the advent of skyscrapers and the new type of real estate objects in the city. During both 2020 and 2021, a down year for the Cyprus real estate market was the general expectations, but not such downturn actually happened. IT companies flocked to the island, moving their offices and buying commercial real estate. Such commercial properties have become the cornerstone of the processes during which a huge number of businesses, including IT businesses, move shop to the island. The 2022 war in Ukraine had a very strong impact of the Cyprus real estate market. Because of mass immigration of people from Russia, as well as the displacement of people from Ukraine, the market was flooded with new demand. There were practically no finished properties left on the market, which prices have gone through the roof. There also was an unprecedented demand for infrastructure projects, in particular kindergartens and schools. Cities began transforming and growing in size. Since all these new inhabitants were no tourists, their goal was to come to Cyprus and stay here permanently. In 2022, we saw the historical maximum of the numbers of transactions in the Cyprus real estate market. Prices too went up to historic heights, and the main investment portfolio moved to an off-plan format. The first half of 2023 is not much different from the previous period. The buyer profile has been supplemented by a number of clients from Israel whose migration to the island was permanently motivated by the policies of the Israel government. There is also an increasing number of requests originating from Northern Europe. The main reason of this, of course, is the tax optimization. It bears repeating that the Cypriot taxation system is one of the most efficient in the world. In addition, the domestic demand has been very strong in Cyprus because many of those who moved here in 2020-2022 are now ready to own a property on the island. We spoke last in 2022, and the situation of the market wasn't the same as today. I think there is quite a few changes during the last year. In your opinion, what are the characteristics of the real estate market in 2023?
I think it's a trend that started in 2022 and intensified in 2023. Cyprus, particularly its coastal towns and tourist areas, attracted buyer interest because of its holiday homes or some sort of properties used for foreign vacations. Now, of course, the trends are dominated by relocation and immigration. Such trends intensify this year, and we see an increased demand for larger properties, 3 and even 4 bedrooms. We've also seen an emerging demand, or rather an increase in demand for cottage complexes, which is something we haven't seen in Limassol in a long time. To clarify, our clients indicated their desire to buy properties in gated communities with shared infrastructure. Such requests weren't apparent before, but now they are starting to appear, and our company is trying to create a competitive product in this segment. For instance, our first project in Larnica, our first launch in this market segment, is a gated cottage community with a clubhouse, swimming pool, sauna, and other infrastructure facilities for communal use of the residents. One more trend is construction and development of real estate around the newly created gambling zone near Limassol. A casino was built and launched earlier this year. As the clients of this casino demand services and real estate, there will be new golf facilities, restaurants, and other objects, including, of course, real properties such as apartment blocks and cottage complexes. Our company is working on a good project in this area.
It's more like serviced apartments.
Yes, service apartments with a swimming pool and a gym right across the street from the casino. It's also probably worth noting that according to statistics from last year, the most building permits were issued for the construction of office spaces. We've never seen that before. Previously, most companies that relocated to Cyprus were renting office space, but because of recent political events, it seems to me that many of these companies finally decided to be based permanently in Cyprus, to expand their presence, to move their employees, and to buy an office of their own. And we see that the demand and the number of sales of office space in general has increased significantly. So that's also one of the new trends. Business people who used to rent offices are now buying office space instead, even whole office buildings. I guess we could say this is the trend for this year. In addition to that, there's also a certain new trend related to the new type of clientele in Cyprus, Israelis. Previously, Israelis took the second or third position with respect to the number of tourists visiting Cyprus. In other words, there was a significant surge of Israeli tourists coming to Cyprus. And now there are many more Israelis buying real estate here.
Market is changing and we have to follow the market rhythms. Budget-wise is changing, and the reason why people is investing in Cyprus and in real estate has changed. As you are familiar with the real estate market here for so long now, you may know that after the closing of the citizenship program, it was a kind of 6 months of uncertainty, and then we went back to slowly normal days, but the budget has changed. We moved lower. We've been around 500, 600, 700,000. And then again now is a change on different categories of people and investors. But you know, real estate market, it looks that it has a potential here, which is really good, and you know, developers are adapting fast. It's a big bonus for locals, you know.
Tell me please, we have a different portrait of clients. Before the passport program finished, it was people who invest in passport program actually, and buying something like villa or big apartments, luxurious with high pricing and everything. After the COVID and finished the passport program, we have the clients who bought the middle level from 500,000 till 1.5 million. It was the main portrait of clients. Which clients your company focusing more?
Yeah, I agree with what you have said, but you know, as a company here, philosophy was, since we started developing 20 plus years ago, when construction 35 years ago, we haven't changed the aim and the task of the company to the product, and we never adapt on the market needs. When the citizenship program was on, we didn't want to invest on huge piece of land, beachfront properties, 3 million, 4 million, 10 million. We stayed focused on our aim, which was always to have properties for the mid-range market needs. I would say from 300 to a million. That was the philosophy. 70-75% of our sales, it was, and still they are on that price range. Of course, we have properties higher. Of course, we have properties which are around 2 million or even more. And we have very few properties which are below 300,000. But the majority of the sales which we are achieving, I would say the last 5 years, from 2017, 18 to 2023, it's from 300 to a million.
You know, the kind of client that wants to make Cyprus their permanent home, and they want the big, huge properties of more than 1,000 square meters. Those were kind of clients that we didn't witness during the passport era, when people just wanted to spend, you know, the minimum. At the same time, there are a lot of clients from Israel that are flooding Cyprus, I would say, buying left and right everything for investment. So it seems that sometimes foreigners have a better understanding of the macroeconomic potential of Cyprus than the people that are living here. And the Israelis have identified that, and a lot of the sales happening Paphos and Limassol this year are from that region.
Discussing the regions of Cyprus that have attracted the most investment in the first half of 2023, I would single out Larnaca and Paphos, mainly because these two regions show the highest asset growth of real estate investors. This is due to the fact that the countries like Israel and Lebanon are actively investing here. Larnaca is a go-to destination for the Lebanese investors, and Paphos has been the most popular with investors coming from Israel. In addition, Larnaca and Paphos are key internal migration destinations. More and more, often residents of Limassol migrate here in order to save of living experience. Likewise, many companies are establishing offices here to optimize their operating costs. Added to this, the fact that the Paphos is a promising resort in the island, top tourist destination. Indeed, this year there were all kinds of records shattered by Cyprus in terms of tourist arrivals to the island. And Larnaca's investment potential is certainly predicated on its local next to large international airport. Talking a bird's-eye view of Cyprus real estate, which regions do you consider the most attractive for investment today?
Looking at the statistics, we can confidently say that these are Larnaca and Limassol. Here we leave aside Nicosia because our capital city is a market dominated by local buyers. But talking about the tourist areas and the resort towns, it would be Larnaca, Limassol and Paphos. Statistically speaking, we should know that for many months, up to a year until today, there has been a massive, record-breaking surge of real estate transactions in Larnaca. But Limassol remains the driving force behind Cyprus property sales in terms of both the number and volume of transactions. It maintains its leadership status. There is a trend of prices growing, but people still want to stay in Limassol because there are jobs here, there are educational institutions here. So we see a lot of Limassol fans, people who like living here and whose demand dictates the development of new neighborhoods. In particular, the area near the new casino is not that expensive in terms of real estate price per square meter. So it can be a good alternative to the classic Limassol tourist zone that we are in right now. There are also new developments in other suburbs: Polymedia, Pyrgos, Paraklesia. These are the areas that previously didn't attract massive interest from prospective residents who wanted to move in.
I would say Paphos was the city that moved more during this year for a combination of reasons, I believe. It's partly because we have a lot of our product in Paphos as well, and we have some. An additional reason, I would say, is because of how the prices behave in Limassol. The prices increased to a great extent, and a lot of people found themselves not being able to afford properties in Limassol. So a lot of these people moved over to Paphos for suitable accommodation, which was a wise decision, I would say, from them, because they saved 10–20%.
I will say Limassol and Paphos. Me in person, I focus much more in Paphos. The reason I believe also that Paphos will be one of the cities which will be fantastic for investment opportunities. We have seen how it's growing, how it's changed in many areas. Many developments, they come to Paphos actually, and a lot of developers, they're investing. We have seen the change. So we have the opportunity to invest, and I believe that Paphos will be one of the top investment areas in our island in the next few years.
Which types of real estate showed the most demand from buyers in the first 6 months of 2023? Until a few years ago, no one in Cyprus would talk about anything but luxury real estate worth over 2 million. Today the situation changed dramatically. Every developer who knows is seeing an unprecedented demand for inexpensive apartments, practically regardless of the location of the island. Furthermore, gated communities with well-developed infrastructure have come to define their architectural landscape. Such projects are actively developed in Paphos and in Limassol. This will be an opportunity to unlock the cities as well as develop new areas. Also, let's not forget about golf resorts and the gated communities of villas. This architectural element is the main urban component of the island. It also characterizes of Cyprus lifestyles in the most accurate way possible. Paphos is where many such residential complexes are located. New construction trends and innovations in the Cyprus real estate market are on the rise slowly but surely. It wasn't so long ago the Cypriot real estate developers were permanently using classical concrete technology and weren't interested in applying construction's innovations. Today, the market is changing rapidly in this regard. From timber frame construction and modular construction to structural frameless glazing of the wall buildings and higher demand to energy efficiency of offices and residential premises. It's only natural that a special focus is placed of using solar power because Cyprus boasts 340 sunny days a year. That's why all real estate developers are now actively using solar panels in order to make new houses more energy efficient, reducing utility payments and overall cost for your home. By the way, if you decide to become a real estate developer, there is a way to use eco-technology and energy-saving technologies to increasing the footprint of your new building. Send us a message and we'll reply with practical advice on how to do it.
About the technology, as I know, Cyprus is very conservative in technologies. We build in concrete houses lots of years. But for the last 2 years, so I see the changes with construction side. We have frame construction, we have prefab construction. Some developers try to promote the wooden houses, something like this. What do you think about it? What about your company and your vision in this kind of technologies?
Always we have to be better than yesterday. What does that mean? Always we have to focus what we can do to be better. And of course we are open to all the technologies that they can help our constructions. I don't believe that, to be honest with you, I don't believe that the concrete will be removed completely from the market, because it's something which is very important, we need it, and it's the main materials that we use, if I can say, for the construction. We try to make our buildings much more eco-friendly. We can use solar panels, we can make much more green areas, so we can make them much more friendly for our environment, and that is what I'm focused on it. For sure, we focus also to new technologies, that we are open, and we listen also to our engineers, and we are always open in this kind of investment for eco-friendly or new technologies to our company.
Every year, clients are becoming more educated, more environmentally conscious, and more demanding, I would say, in all aspects. As a result, Pafilia, and like many other developers in Cyprus, had to adopt, had to enrich the materiality of its projects, as well as the facilities being offered. We are utilizing some very environmentally friendly and sustainable technologies here in Mintis, both in terms of the construction of our topos villa designs, featuring zinc roofs, wooden ceilings, very high quality thermally insulating glasses, and many small other things that all together they make a very big impact, and on the environment and on the customer lifestyle and experience.
We are more, to be honest, to the traditional way of building. We are changing the philosophy of our design recently, and we're going to launch some projects which are more island-oriented projects, not super modern like everybody else is doing. So that will be something, a change that you will see soon from us, and it will come in 2024 in 2-3 new projects that we are doing. And we will use materials more from local suppliers, sorry. So that it will be a change. But yes, we are open to different technology, and of course, I think the solar and green energy is coming very fast to the market with this weather.
Unfortunately, the real estate market in Cyprus is not as perfect as would hope for. In recent years, the country's financial politics have changed significantly, as have worldwide restrictions placed of transactions origin from anywhere on the globe. Cyprus is no exception here. The banking system is quite conservative and the bankers can seem overly cautious. There is a serious problem in Cyprus regarding transaction speed and the complexity of mandatory compliance procedures. My advice to you, who are now considering buying a property in Cyprus, is to consider this situation in advance. The problem could be that your transactions might take anywhere from 3 to 6 months. Added to this, the virtual absence to effective leading policies in Cyprus. During the first 6 months of 2023, all Cypriot banks combined issued a grand total of just over 1,000 loans. Think about it. Nationwide, all of Cyprus, just 1,000 loans.
If you decide to invest into real estate using bank leverage, let us know and we will assist you in finding a cost-effective solution. Furthermore, if you are interested to purchase real estate for digital assets or other alternative currencies, send us a message and we will try to accommodate your request.
The structure of real estate market has changed. We have recorded big changes in the financial sector, was in a major shift in demographics. In your opinion, what are the main challenges faced by one hand the real estate developers and from other hand clients who are buying real estate?
There are two main problems. One problem is on the market side, on the side of the developing companies and the municipal authorities who delay granting building permits. It's clear that the real estate market can never be infinitely elastic. So it's natural that the recent influx of new immigrants and the associated increase in the number of transactions are problematic for the government agencies, who simply can't handle the workload because of all the new residents and new companies. There is a certain backlog. Currently, the time frame for issuing building permits has increased significantly. Even for small projects, developers are forced to wait several months, often more than 6 months, whereas previously it used to take no more than 3-4 months, so we see this as a big problem. There is another thing on the customer side. Obviously, it's bank restrictions, which I found absolutely excessive. Think about it. The transaction, the transfer of funds itself usually takes 3-4 months, and in some cases this can exceed 6 months. This is outrageous and can be considered the biggest problem as of today. We see unprecedented demand. We see a huge number of properties offered, but there is a clear problem for the buyer. Crediting funds to his account can be nearly impossible. This prevents further, more substantial growth of the real estate market on the island.
As a company, as a businessman, as a developer, we're facing difficulties, first of all, to find the proper land. It's a lot of competition out there. You have to be very fast, very smart, very efficient to get the proper land, good locations, which always counts on a sale. And then it's a marathon starting after buying the land, and that marathon will end when the building permission is ready. It used to be easier But recently, with the new changes on the program, on the new VAT, which is coming very soon, permanent residency changed a bit. It seems that we need 6 to 9 months to get approvals. So it's a lot of work, it's a lot of administration work. We have in-house, of course, architects, engineers, topographers, engineers, and everything, and we go as fast as possible. But you have to understand, if the public sector is loaded with a lot of applications, and you know very well, we chat before that. Difficulty is coming from the banking sector, which banks are in Cyprus at the moment are very difficult by welcoming money from overseas. Yes, money can come, but due diligence is getting more and more and more difficult. And Russian market, it's even impossible. I wouldn't say impossible, but it's very difficult anymore. Of course, if the source of fund is correct and if the supporting documents are correct, money will be cleared. But it's a long process. It used to be a week, now it's a month. Sometimes it's 6 weeks, sometimes it's 8 weeks. So we have all this stress regarding all that, but we support. We have in-house lawyers and administrators which support the clients. And of course, with the help of our associates, I'm proudly saying we don't lose deals, but it's a long process. Everybody should be patient with that.
The main challenge for Parfilia in 2023 and 2022 was the fact that a lot of clients wanted ready properties. That was one major challenge that we faced, because the big demand for properties came right after COVID, which during that period not a lot of construction was going on. A second problem, again common I would say to most developers, especially the ones that they were dealing with the Russian market, was the very strict KYC requirements and searches that took longer than expected, or they were not performed very quickly, which made clients feel uncomfortable and also delayed the whole buying process.
We're more than halfway through the year of 2023. We interviewed several real estate insiders, and they all agree that the bulk of property sales are still to come and that the final months of the year will be quite active. New projects are being introduced to the market, and there is a considerable effort to develop infrastructure. Furthermore, there are new attractive financial products and solutions designed to make the transaction faster and more efficient, which in my view is excellent use for this market. In order to get the full rundown of the first half of 2023, to go to our website or download the report at the link below. I'd like you to leave a comment and tell us which data you would like to have when trying to make an informed investment decision. We will cover these topics right here. In order to get up-to-date information about living and investing in Cyprus, subscribe to our YouTube channel and Telegram channel, and see you on Sunny Island.